right, guys, here we go. Red alert to World Series action coming at you. We got the 2v2 tournament, semi-pros, bunch of killers in here. We're starting things off. We got Zed, the Algerian Warrior, and Doof, Blue, right side. They're facing off against Snark, the Ninja, and the Dynamic Dino on the left side. Here are those brackets again if you've missed them. Brackets, brackets, brackets. So single elimination tournament here. Winners of this go on to the championship. Losers go down to the third place. We're giving out $80 today. This is the first annual Latoff and Kian bailed the finals, and now we're gonna have fun with them without them anyway tournament. So today, this weekend was supposed to be the finals. Kian and Latoff made it through to the finals in all 3 game modes. I was incredibly excited about it. Blitz, Yuri's Revenge, and Red Alert 2, we were going to have them go at each other. Unfortunately, they couldn't get their game scheduled. Kian said I can play at these times. Latoff said I can play at these times. The guys don't really like each other. We couldn't get the game scheduled. It was as simple as that. So I DQ'd both of them, and we're putting the prize money back into the pot. We're going to have some fun with them without them anyway. So we're doing a 2v2. This is the new map, the Carnival map. This will be used in next month's tournament. If you guys haven't signed up already, join my Discord. Sign up just is closing in the next couple days. We are still looking for players, so come join the fun. Anyway, this is the new Carnival map. It's pretty wacky. Things are off to the races right away here. Wow, the 2v2 on this, I have no idea how it's going to go, but we shall see. Snark and Dynamic, look at this. They're teamed up. Good communication here. And Zed on the bottom side making IFEs, chilling. He's playing Sim City. Dynamic and Snark off to the races, putting early pressure on, coming over that hill, grabbing the Eagle Pad, now grabbing the power plant. And Dynamic and Snark, I wonder if they're on voice right now because they are moving synergistically. You love to see it. That's what 2v2 is all about. And yeah, and that's exactly what 2v2 is all about. So we do see an Allied and a Soviet. These guys are picking their own factions. And you guys unfamiliar with the map, the top side does start with an Eagle Pad. Each player starts with an Eagle, or the top player on your team gets an Eagle Pad. Both players get a power plant. Both players get an oil. And then the bottom player gets an airport. There is a nuclear reactor on the bottom of the map that you can capture. If you capture the nuclear reactor, you can build a naval yard. And then also the Psychic Dominator in the middle of the map. Super weapon you can capture, can't be destroyed. And some money crates spawn in the middle as well. Hope you guys wrote all that down. There's a reason I call this the Carnival map. It is going to be incredibly wacky. Now, we've never had Blitz before with a larger map like this, so the 2v2 action can really unfold in form. I'm excited to see it. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but it's definitely going to be a fun idea, and these players proving that so far. So I did open this map up a little bit compared to the 1v1 map. There's a little bit more room to build, but the oils are still going to become a little bit problematic as you get into the late game. Snark looking beast mode right now. Lots of rhinos pushing in, and honestly, what you're seeing right now, Zed and Doofus just not really clicking, I don't think. Not really on the same page. With that being said, they're developed a little bit more. Zed over to Battle Lab Tech now, so I like that early aggression from Snark and Dynamic, but I'm not sure they got the value that they needed. I'm also not sure. Dynamic maybe has been taking some hits. Zed's controlling Dynamic's tech. Get ready to be confused and missing stuff, guys. I'm gonna have a hard time keeping up with this one. So Zed is controlling Dynamic's tech. Dynamic can't get tech out, so Dynamic's stuck on tier 1 tech, but I love this aggression on the top side. They are out tanking. Let's see what they can get done here. The Rockies, but Snark does have some flak tracks in that group as well. Zed a little bit slow to respond again, leaving Doofus a little bit alone up here, but they are able to hold off anyway, and now Dynamic and Snark forced to retreat. They were going for that early aggression, and they've paid for that on the back end here. A little bit tough as Zed, the better allied player. Now 2v2, guys, it's so hard making these matches. I put the teams together. I choose the teams based on what I think is going to be fun and exciting for everyone, but it's so tough because you never really know how players are going to play. You can't just say, oh, this guy's this level, this guy's this level. You add them up, that's their team. 2v2 is totally different. It's all about that symbiotic relationship, the synergy that you have with your teammate, how you're going to play off of each other, and that's tough. Some players are great players and bad 2v2 players. Some players are not good players, but amazing 2v2 players. So you never know how that's going to go, so it's so difficult to predict. Now, the other big thing is the Allied and Soviet. It'll be interesting to see the meta. We probably will see some guys go double Soviet, double aggro today, but you expect to see the Soviet and the Allied, and the big thing right now is Zed, right? Zed's the team captain on this side. He's the higher ranked player, one of the highest. He is the highest ranked player in the pit right now, and his Allied is dominating Dynamics Allied, and that's where they're falling behind, which is unfortunate after that early start. But anyway, we'll see if they can keep pulling in here. But now Doof is a scary amount of rhinos, but some pathing issues here as he comes across that bridge. He gets into a bottleneck, which is going to give Snark a leg up here. Snark sentry guns and drones now getting some damage done, but here comes Zed with the tech tanks. The Mirage is coming in, and those Rockies, a lot of Rockies here from Zed doing work. Yeah, and I think we saw Snark and Dynamic not quite get the early value that they needed out of that attack, and You gotta think this is gonna be the beginning of the end here. Doofus now with a lot of uncontested tanks. Yeah, Snark and Dynamic in a little bit of trouble here, I think. Yeah, it's Dynamic trying to get downfield, trying to make something happen. But, you know, you never really know. You know, back to the drawing board. It is best of 5, guys, right? It is best of 5. So 2v2, I mean, all game modes are like that. It's how you're adapting in between games. And so much goes on in between games, before games. It's very much like chess in that way as well. You know, the prepping. I mean, you know, you don't get a strategy when the game starts. Well, that's what I do. But if you're a good player, you don't do that. These guys, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. Hopefully they're on voice. They certainly were playing early on like they were talking, communicating, but being on voice is obviously a huge advantage. Well, most players say that. I think there's some old school 2v2 players who kind of grew up playing the game without voice chat, and they say that voice like distracts them, but generally speaking, being on VC, definitely a big advantage here. So yeah, these guys, the red team here going down, Snark and Dino. Let's see what they can bring. Let's see what they can bring for point number 2. First one on the board, but the series far from over. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. So now over to point number 2, So first one, pretty decisive victory for Zed and Doof as they pulled into the mid-late game. You know, I liked Snark and Dynamic. I thought they were clicking early on. The problem was Dynamic's allied couldn't keep up with Zed's, and they're going to need to do something about that. And it's kind of interesting. So each team kind of has a captain, a higher-rated player, and on this team, you know, Zed radically higher. Zed's in the top 10. Doofus is like around 40 or something. Doofus is actually significantly the lowest ranked elo player in here. But like I said, Doofus, people don't think of Doofus very much because like in QM he clowns a little bit. Like a lot of times he's just having fun. I mean, Doofus is the nicest guy in the world. He certainly doesn't have that like go for blood mentality. But when he is, like, when we do see him in a tournament, we do see him in the finals, you see this totally different player come out. And so, yeah, Doofus is kind of the sleeper in this group for sure. And anyway, like I said, obviously it comes down to teamwork as well. But the big problem right now is Zed's allied getting way ahead of Dynamics. So we'll see what these guys go for here. Again, it is best of 5, so the action's still rolling on. Doof, so Doof had a rebrand. He used to go by Doofus. He had a rebrand, and now he goes by Doof. Oh, and a little battle early on for that nuclear reactor. Again, guys, that nuclear reactor cannot be destroyed. So you get that thing early on, definitely a leg up. But also remember, guys, you can go naval yard. So the dreadnoughts, I made the water so you can sneak the dreadnoughts around. You can sneak the aircraft carriers around. And in the 2v2 especially, I think you could probably start picking these things off. So, you know, this map specifically, there's a lot of random shit you can do. And I'm excited to see those players when they get their back against the wall. You know, I'm excited to see those down 2-0, let's get weird plays, because this map certainly has it. Dynamic's nice little push on the top side, does get over and grab Zed's War Factory. So Dynamic, hey, there's a reason we call him the Dynamic Dino. Now Zed's a scary player. Zed's been playing Blitz literally since the first tournament. Zed has never missed a Blitz event. He's been around for a long time. He's always in that Pro Division. He's usually losing in the Pro Division, let's be honest, right? Zed doesn't usually make Final Four, but he's always in the Pro Division, he's always playing, and he's a strong player who knows Blitz. Now, the Dynamic Dino, he's gotten this nickname for a reason. He's an incredibly strong player and has, as of recently, been dominating at the semi-pro level, but toe-to-toe in this 2v2 matchup, you gotta think that Zed's more experienced playing the game. As I say that, the Dino gets downfield and snipes Zed's MCV, and that's why you call him the Dynamic Dino, boys. Zed gets down with the Eagles, takes out Dynamic, doesn't get the AFC, so Dynamic makes it home for dinner, grabs Zed's MCV. Zed only on 1 War Factory. Zed's still in this game though, boys. Zed's got the barracks, he's got the War Factory, and he's got the AFC, so Zed's still hanging and banging. But Snark and Dynamic need to be looking to slow down this position here. Paradrop on the backside. Zed lets it go AFK. Should be able to get that War Factory. Dynamic a little bit slow on the repair. That was Dynamic's. Okay, another War Factory out for Dynamic now. So, and Snark, and just like that, you guys were sleeping on Snark and Dino. Tell me the truth. Who doubted these guys? Who doubted them? I'm going to raise my hand. I doubted Dynamic and Snark after that first point. I thought that I made terrible teams and had made a mistake. These guys hanging and banging, putting on a show for us. You love to see it. And the boys in blue down 2 MCVs now. Red team just needs to hold this position. Should be able to take home the win here in the second point. Again, it is best of 5, so I hope you guys got your popcorn. Malibu, my guy with the sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very much appreciated, boys. All right, a nice amount of fodder here for Snark. So these guys still in the game, technically. And so you guys saw Snark did get over and grab that nuclear reactor early on. He got that battle. But yeah, this is just one of those positions where slow it down. Slow down the position. It's a bit annoying that they still have all their production. If you could try to make one more hit, but obviously the worst thing in the world would be blundering here. But as I say, that dynamic going right at Zed. And there's something to be said, right? You want to win, but you also want to, these best of fives, there's a lot going on in a series like this. There's some mental battles as well. You don't want to just sit back and make them quit out. There's something to be said for, dropping the hammer, proving that you deserve to be here, and proving that you're on their level. So I like the aggression from a dynamic. It's scaring me a little bit because, again, in this position, you could just slow things down, sit back, go nuke, make them GG out. But, hey, blood in the water. You love to see it. You love to see it. Snark and dynamic. Zed saying sorry, and just like that, boys, it's 1-1. What a day to be alive. What a day to be alive, boys. To point number 3, and you love to see it, man. You love to see it. Just like that. That first game seemed so decisive, and then Snark and Dynamic. Hey, that's the question. Are you the kind of player that bends, or are you the kind of player that breaks? And I love it, man. I love it that Dynamic and Snark in between games there were able to take a break, take a breath, come back in and put on a show. You love to see it. So 1-1 now. It is best of 5. Yeah, again, the naval guys, the late game naval, a dreadnought or an AFC or an aircraft carrier, you get around the backside, you're definitely gonna be able to get something done, which is very exciting. Come on, you guys. Tell my girlfriend. Anyone tell my girlfriend we got a 2v2 game going on? Anyone tell my girlfriend we got a barn burner going on? Oh, my God. Come on. Focus, focus, focus. All right, boys. We're back in it here. We're back in it. So, 1-1 here. Let's see if Snark and Dynamic can ride that momentum. Yeah, actually, to be fair, it was crazy. Yesterday, I went hiking. My girlfriend and I went hiking to the trail we always go to. And we were gone for 20 minutes. Boom, window broken. Her purse got stolen, cell phone, wallet gone. It was crazy. We used Find My iPhone. We tracked down the area. We found the guy's apartment. We were outside. Then we realized that we weren't police, and the police wouldn't help us. Anyways, this whole thing. All right, let's focus. Let's focus. Let's focus. So, Dynamic gets across the top side, and again takes out who's on the top side? So it takes out Doofus's Eagle Pad. So again, that early aggression from Dynamic, you love to see it. And we're going to see Snark get in and grab that nuclear reactor. Nice map awareness there. That nuclear reactor going to give you a nice leg up. So Dynamic and Snark going double sove here. Double sove here. Zed and sorry guys, I'm playing a little catch up here. So double sove, so they got to go for the early aggression here. The Eagles are going to become so damning late game, and it looks like Dynamic and Snark are splitting the map. You usually don't see that in a 2v2. You're usually looking to try to pinch and double team players, but they're splitting the map right now. The problem is Snark's going to have a hard time getting through Zed's defenses. I like this here. Zed's got these Grizzlies, and he's got these snipers, and he's playing the higher ground. This choke point's a little bit tough. I did specifically create it so you can't build completely into it, but it's definitely going to be a tough position anyway. So now we're going to see Snark come to the top side. Zed bounces up there to help. This isn't gonna work for the red team here. Nope, Snark and Snark and Dynamic in trouble, I think. Crates are out on the backside, but yeah, Dynamic and Snark. What do you guys think about the double sove move here? So close. They needed some fodder in that group as well. Dynamic and Snark balancing the economy is kind of interesting here too. I think you're seeing, technically these are the same oils. If you guys saw our old 2v2 map, for a while we were double producing oils on that other 2v2 map. This one's just regular oils. And look at the dog. Who snuck the dog down? Dynamics. That's why you call him the Dynamic Dino. He's in here. All the stuff he's got going on, he snuck a dog down, grabbed all that money. Now 17K in the bank. That should give him a nice little edge. Dynamic keeping the pressure on. Where is Snark at right now? Snark breaks through on the bottom side. Snark heavily out tank. Needs to be careful here. He's going to pull back. I'd love to see these guys need to get fodder in the fight. There's so many things going on right now. These guys are just getting spread a little bit too thin, and you see their actions per minute not keeping up here. Yeah, you got to get some fodder in the fight. Some fodder could really swing things right now. And Dynamic on 18K. Dynamic on funny money right now. He's got to start getting weird. He brings out a fifth War Factory. I love that. And Dynamic continuing to pound through, making Doofus spend everything he can just to hold the line. And I love that Snark just keeps kind of feigning on the bottom side, keeping Zed honest down here. But Zed's on tech tanks, boys. We're at the 4-minute mark, and the red team here does not have an allied player. So the longer this game goes, you gotta think it's going to be going more in the blue team's favor. Yeah, it's Snark and Dynamic. We're looking to play this one hard and fast, and we're not able to get that early value that they needed here. So the Mirage tanks coming out. What can you do? Do they try to tech up? Dynamic over to radar. Dynamic on 18K. Zed on 15K. Zed's got a massive economy. Luckily for these guys, Zed's only on 1 AFC right now, so they have been keeping him busy enough. And so Dynamic loading up a Decisive Bomb. Dynamic over to Battle Lab Tech. Snark on Battle Lab Tech as well. So both players now bringing some Kirovs. And this is not really the position. A double Sove and a 2v2. yeah, you can go tech. There's stuff you can do. It's not game over, but it's not the position you want to be in. Certainly, you know, you certainly want to be getting value early on. Now, it's one thing to come into a mid-late game, but to let, you know, these guys essentially got into the mid-late game unscathed. They were on their heels chilling, and now you got to think Zed's going to be able to go to work. Kirov's coming, trying to use the Kirovs defensively. Both players pinching to defend here. Mirage is coming on the bottom side. Not much counter potential down there. Will get zoned out by those Desolators. Now Siege Choppers coming. Can Siege Choppers shoot in the air? No, they can't. And we are getting some lag here, just too many units on the field. The game can't handle it. Yeah, the game cannot handle it right now. Kirov's coming over. Now, can these guys support the Kirovs? Could this be the offensive push that the double Soviet team needs right now? Those Kirovs could start dropping bombs. Oh my god, oh my god. The Kirovs are going to do so much work. Big Deso bomb here. Oh, but they Deso bomb their own units terribly. So frustrating, these positions. The Kirov's punching through. Oh, the top Kirov goes AFK. Very unfortunate. In these positions where you start having lag like this, those kind of moves where you get stuck on your own radiation, those are keyboard breakers, we call those. When you're stuck on radiation and there's a delay, there's a lag, and you can't get off of it, absolutely devastating. These Kirovs got some value. What do you guys think? Was that enough to get something done here? The Kirov's opening things up a little bit, and the Desolator's pushing, and now the Siege Choppers. What is the red team doing right now? First super weapon in the match so far is Dynamics Iron Curtain. I love this aggression. I love this aggression from these guys. But hey, you got to give credit where it's due. Zed and Doofus playing some really good defense here. But they're continuing to take bites, and you got to think this offensive push alone is going to be paying dividends into the late game. The big thing, look. The blue team here, no counterpunch potential. So even though Snark and Dynamic did smoke it to the filter, holy shit, look at that paradrop doing work. Siege Choppers on the cliff. I love it. These guys busting out all the stops. Yeah, so even though, you know, they did use their whole army, they did get offensive value and the elite Siege Chopper. I've never said that. I've never said that. Someone clipped that. I've never said elite Siege Chopper in my entire life. And Zed, you know what the big thing here, the story of this game? Oh, the paradrop, double paradrops, paradrops everywhere, paradrops everywhere. Paradrops doing work, and as I say that, you know, the blue team here is able to get a little bit of offensive value. They do take out a few war factories. That's going to help things. Doofus has taken some hard hits here. Doofus has taken some hard hits, but hey, he's still firing on all cylinders. He's a double war factory, now 3. He's got 15k in the bank. Zed hasn't really taken any hits. Zed's on Battle Lab Tech. And so, Dynamic, what do you guys think about that Iron Curtain? He's going to come in. Now, remember, 2v2, these guys basically have a double force shield. So Dynamic needs to pick his targets wisely. It looks like he's going at the Mirages. He's trying to take out the Mirage tanks. Let's see if that works out for him. He's trying to open things up for Snark. Little 1-2 punch. Snark gets behind, and Snark with his own Iron Curtain now. Force shield on the MCV. That's what you expect. Does he start going for buildings, or do they keep going for the army? Yeah, Zed doing a good job trying to bait that Mirage tank. Snark says, okay, I'll take your base instead. Doofus's MCV probably going to be going down here. Oh, they don't have a double force shield. Snark does not have a Doofus doesn't have a battle lab, so only a single force shield, and the Siege Choppers rolling through. Those Mirage tanks feasting right now. The Elite Mirage comes out, Siege Choppers going down. Doof still has his MCV. It'd be so nice if they were able to get that MCV before the force shield comes back, and the double paradrop downfield again. The allied player here with the airport, that double paradrop from Zed has pretty much been their only offensive tool in this game so far. And the Siege Choppers, can the Siege Choppers get the MCV? Oh my god, there's no anti-air in this group. The Rockies clean them out, and the MCV stays alive. And holy shit, this game is still going on. 4 MCVs still on the field. The fat lady is far from singing, boys. Yeah, that anti-air a little late to the party. You gotta love this elite Siege Chopper. We do have some AFK Connie's top right. They could probably grab a war factory. No, not the elite Siege Chopper. Ah, damn it. Oh my god, he pulled off. It's hilarious. So we do need some anti-air here. We do have a nuke coming. The major super weapons. That's sure interesting. The major super weapons are sure interesting here. The nuke's going to be devastating. Man, these guys have just been pounding away. Oof, Dynamic, the rough Iron Curtain here. Oftentimes you will see that these kind of slightly lower level players have a lot less experience using the Iron Curtains. You can't blame them here. Zed's Prism Tower is getting a lot of value, and so Dynamic going to try to go to work on this top right. Zed's Mirage is in to hold, but that opens things up for Snark on the bottom side. Snark is pushing in blind. There are gap generators out. Keep that in mind, guys. This section is gapped, so Snark pushing a little bit blind if you see him doing questionable stuff, and the 1-2 punch from the red team here, pinching them out very, very nicely. And the Rhinos just more than they can handle. Another pair drop from Zed here going to absolutely do work bottom left. I don't think it's going to be enough. They only have one force shield. And where is Dynamic going right now? Yeah, so now that's the one force shield they have. Again, Doofus does not have a battle lab. So yeah, that MCV is going down. You've got to think this is the beginning of the end. Now, if you're looking at that game, so, I mean, Dynamic and Snark did a lot of things right. They were just doing work, right? Look at these GIs. Wow. Okay. But here's the problem, though. I think Zed is not getting his Eagle offensive value. Zed needs to be, Zed needs to have Eagles slowing these guys down. The Soviet pressure is just non-stop. Zed did a good job with his paradrops, but just didn't quite get the Eagle value he needed. And I think that's one of the major issues there. All right, so yeah, so over to point number 4 now. Oh my God, you guys, we still have so much going on today. This is crazy. Again, this is the first semifinal game here. Then we got Loka kicks Ed Lloyd. So winner of this does go on to the championship. Loser of this goes on to the 3rd and 4th place game. Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting with Soviet. It's always the question. People always say, a lot of newer players constantly question, like, people are always saying, couldn't siege choppers do this? Or, couldn't a Tesla tank be good for this? Couldn't a V3 rocket be good for this? I think the thing is, like, Soviet's arsenal, there are a lot of things that could be good in certain positions. The problem is the opportunity cost. And the opportunity cost is, while you're building those, you're not building Rhinos, you're not building Kurovs, you're not building Flaks or drones, which is kind of their core 4 units. The siege chopper is probably the 5th tank unit in the Soviet arsenal that actually does have non-troll practical value, even at the top level. And we've seen some very good players actually make use of them. What was that game the other day? Oh, wait, who was it the other day that got the siege choppers behind enemy lines and took out an IC in regular Yuri's Revenge? Was that Legend? I think Legend sniped Marco's Iron Curtain. That's what's nice about them as well. They're so unexpected. The Soviet gameplay is so on the ground. The Kurovs are so slow, they hardly even count as an aerial threat. So the siege choppers, kind of their fast movement, getting behind enemy lines, they can definitely throw things off. So again, here we're going to see the early pressure here. So now Snark and Dynamic, what are they doing? So the last game, they've now gotten a win with mixed factions. They got a win with a double Soviet, and now they're going double Allied. That is so weird. Okay, so now a double Allied, and they're going aggressive. You don't go aggressive with double Allied, and these guys are double Soviet. So now we have a double Allied going aggro into a double Soviet. Somehow it's kind of working. Look at this unit control. These GIs from Snark, absolutely incredible. But now Doofus is gonna go radar. So Doofus is now coming with a Desolator, and Zed's gonna try to go downfield and counterpunch. Yeah, when Allied's trying to focus you on one side of the map, you got it. Yeah, this is exactly what you want. So now Doofus and Zed are like, whoa, hold on a second. We're Soviet right now. What is happening? So now they're going to head downfield. Snark forced to try to defend with his Eagles, spam the pillboxes, try to hold the line here. And as I say that, boys, Snark and the Dynamic Dino here holding the line as Allied. Now, we've talked about how this map's going to play at the 1v1 level, at the top level. It's a little bit different. The area is a little bit smaller. I think it's going to be hard for Soviet on this map, for Allied early on. It's a very open map. Usually Allied struggles with that. But so far, hey, you love what you're seeing here. That paradrop, when it was all said and done, what did they get done? Well, they got a little bit of offense value. They grabbed a power plant. The big thing, though, was they bought themselves some time as they got over to the mid game. So now Dynamic on Battle Lab Tech. He's going to be bringing some Mirages. Not great unit control. Not great synergy here. The Rhino power could be enough. The GGI is doing work. The pillbox is doing work. And right there, guys, that's what teamwork does for you in a 2v2 game. You saw Doofus and Zed just weren't really synced up. Their units came in a line, and they allowed the defense to thrive there. Now, Gap Generator's out, and you love the Battle Lab Tech from Dynamic. 10K in the bank. We're at the 4-minute mark, and the Mirages are going to be coming out. So Snark, so look at this teamwork. This is what 2v2 is all about, right? So Snark's going Eagles. He's got he took the Eagle pad, he builds his ASC, now he has 5 Eagles. He can start going out oils and war factories. Dynamic, on the other hand, instead of spending money on Eagles, is going to spend money on tech tanks. I absolutely love this. This is what you love to see in 2v2. Not just 2 players playing 1v1 against their mirrors, but 2 players talking, thriving, and building off of each other. You love it. You love to see it. So Snark's Eagles continuing to try to get some value here. Going to grab that front oil. We'll take a war factory with it. That's exactly what you want against the Soviet players. You just got to slow down that. You got to slow down that Rhino production however you can. BKYZ with the follow. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. And the Mirage tanks. And yeah, Dynamic going to posture up here. Get a little bit of map control. Keep things off his doorstep. I like that. Snark, 3 war factories, 4 war factories. So about even thanks to the work of those Eagles so far in this. Yeah, the Eagles doing a good job slowing things down. And now Snark on another AFC. Yeah, they're going to have to do something about this. Things are only going to go from bad to worse, you know. So now Zed's having to gear up a Deso Bomb to deal with these Mirages. Remember, guys, a Mirage army like this, one Deso Bomb can totally end it. And Dynamic doesn't have any snipers in this group. You need to have snipers with your Mirages, or a Deso Bomb will hard counter. Snark now over to Battle Lab Tech. I don't love that from Snark, actually. Snark is overproducing now. He's going to put himself broke. I think Snark could have just stuck with his Eagles, just kept getting value with the Eagles, let Dynamic use the Mirages. But you never know. You never know. Again, this is best of 5, so if Snark and Dino take this one home, they will be winning the series. So Zed and Doofus fighting to stay alive here. Oh my gosh, this first game, holy shit, we're already 40 minutes in. Yikes, this is going to be a long day, boys. We still got a few games in store here, so yeah, hopefully. I mean, these guys are putting on a show, you love to see it, but yeah, they're not helping our schedule much. Yeah, I should have known these bigger maps, 2v2s. We just had a lot of good, long, close games so far. Normally, you love to see it, but on a tournament day like this, where things got to keep moving, it's a bit tricky to deal with. But we'll see here, we'll see. And Tank Destroyers, uh-oh, the Desolators, oh god. Oh my god. Tank Destroyers and Mirages melt on radiation. Yeah, and now Rhino's uncontested. So you got to have snipers. You got to have snipers in that group. And the Desolator's still running free. They need a couple, just literally one sniper IFE. Well, it's a lot of Desolators. Zed did exactly what he had to do there. He got the Desolators out and got it done. Yeah, double Allied against double Soviet. Got to have some sniper IFVs. Oh my god, where did that paradrop come from? Right in the heart of their base, grabs the Battle Lab. You love that. Dynamic with 4 Eagles. Yeah, it's Dynamic on 4K. Damn, and Zed on 25K. Everyone else. And when you look at Zed's money there, that's too much money. Look at Snark walking these GIs around. Or Dynamic, actually. That's Dynamics. And still so many Desolators. Yeah, and so... oh, and he gets right in the heart of it, and he chooses that target nicely. He's gonna get a nice double hit, maybe 3 hits there. Oh, does get 3. Nice, nice. Does get 3 oils there. That's a nice little 3-pack. So Snark's Eagles, they need to get sniper IFVs, you guys. You just can't. Yeah, you just can't. The Desolators are just devastating. Ooh, they do get in the backside. Does he dive on the MCV here? He is gonna dive on the MCV. He takes down the army first. Very nice. Now Force Shield coming. Force Shield coming, and Snark, where is Snark right now? Why isn't he hitting this Battle Lab? He knows the Force Shield's coming, but if they're not, you gotta force the Force Shield. Force the Force Shield. Kirov out now. They're gonna try to support this Kirov, try to get some offensive value, but Zed's MCV does go, or Doofus's MCV does go down. Zed comes back to defend. And again, what was this? Another Paradrop bottom left? The Paradrop's wreaking havoc on these guys right now. And a Lightning Storm? The Lightning Storm comes as well. And Snark and Dino, you gotta think a bit of the underdogs in this group, taking home the first one 3-1. All right, guys, red alert to a World Series. The 2v2 action continues to roll on here. We are now over to our second match in this tournament. And for this one, a couple more wild players, man. We got Ed, the wild card in blue here. He's the captain on the blue team. He's teamed with Lloyd, the Lion, on the right side. They are facing off against Loka, Loring Loka in red on the left side, teamed up with Kicks in orange. Winner of this goes on to play in the championship versus Snark and Dynamic. Loser of this goes on to the 3rd and 4th place game to bang out with Zed and Doofus. Yeah, so man, Snark. Okay, so talk to us a little bit about this map. Like, what do you any specific stuff that surprised you with it?
Well, I'll talk about the map in a second. First, I want to talk about these players. I mean, we're not going to have much time to talk because
oh my God,
already aggressive going in there. And we're like, oh yeah, we have this grace period before the game starts. No, this is Blitz.
Yeah, there's no.
This is nuts.
Off
Double
the races.
AFC opening from the Allies. They're crazy. No war factors for the Allied players. What the hell are they thinking? They're going to try and defend us with just air. In the meantime, they're losing a helipad at the top, and now they're going to lose the power plants. The pressure is real here from the Soviet players. What is going on?
Yep, and the double Soviet, that's exactly what you expect. So imagine going double Allied versus double Soviet. That's scary enough, but then to do it and go double AFC opening is absolutely nuts from Ed and Lloyd. And Ed living up to the wild card name. It's not going to get him a win in this first point. The Rhinos and the conscripts pouring over that hill now, pouring into their base, trying to defend with Eagles. Absolutely hilarious. Wow, that
What
is
the actual fuck? That is so funny. They both went double AFC, no War Factory opening, but their opponents planned on rushing with conscripts and everything they had, and they did that. And
double Allied versus double Soviet. They can't go double AFC again. Now, double Allied versus double Soviet, we did see Snark and Dynamic get a win with that. I think it's viable, but you certainly can't be going double AFC. And so we're going to see Ed open the top side, barracks on the top side, go Eagle right away. He's going to bring GIs across this top side, and Loka's right there. He's going to be putting up a bunker. Yeah, Loka and Kicks, man, these are the names that people don't know as much, but Loka is thundering through the semi-pro pro division right now. He's going to be making a splash at the top scene in the next month or two if he keeps it up, and Kicks coming into D1 this month and looking very strong. So, man, these guys are killers, but Ed, okay, so now they're going War Factory, Snark. At least they're going War Factories.
yeah. So a little bit more standard here. The Soviet players still looking like they're gonna bring the heavy pressure early on. The question is, are the Allied players gonna be able to withstand this insane pressure coming their way? It's definitely better than the double AFC opening. You gotta admit that much. And look, Ed is even pushing that bunker up top, winning, getting some value there. If he takes out that War Factory, that could be huge.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Loka scrambling to defend, but it's going to be a War Factory trade up at the top. In the meantime, it looks like just for Kicks isn't going to get the power plant.
Ooh.
What?
He doesn't get. He should be able to get back in and get it. He's not repairing it. Both players losing their War Factories on the top side, and Ed continuing downfield. And they're going to lose both power plants. That devastating. It throws off your build order. Now both players are trying to redo power.
This is problematic. The Soviet pressure here is real. They're getting huge value. Ed's not getting that much value on the backside. It's not going to be enough to even out the odds.
Yeah, this is a little bit odd. I mean, when I was looking at these teams, I mean, wow, the GI still didn't work on that backside, but this is devastating. Loka spamming taunts. So I'm a little bit confused here, Snark. I actually thought Ed and Loka were favorites to win this tournament, but
Ed and Lloyd are
Ed
favored
and
to
Lloyd.
win
Ed
this.
and Lloyd, yeah.
Absolutely, they are favored to win this. They are an insanely strong team. Now they're not out of this, not even close to out of this. They'll survive with the barracks easily. The question is, how much value did they get on the backside? They lost their power plants. That's an expansion point. But on the other side, also the Soviet players lost their power plants.
Yeah, both players taking out each other's power plants. Both players still have a presence on the top side. Both players losing War Factory is going to slow down tank production. And Ed now on a double barracks, no War Factory. Ed not building units as far as I can tell. Now
Well, he's got an AFC, yeah, so he's switched into air, completely ignoring the War Factories. He's going to lose his barracks up top there, but the Rocketeers in the meantime trying to get some value. Flakjack scrambling to defend. In the meantime, Lloyd trying to defend those two oils in the bottom left side. Rocketeers moving to defend that position as well. We've got Eagles sniping out Flakjacks out of the sky, and Lloyd looks like he's going to win that tank fight to the bottom left, but it's all aggro, all from the Soviet side. Can the Allies survive this? You know, they want to reach the late game. That's what they want to do.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the problem here. The Soviet players doing exactly what they want, forcing the Allied players to amputate a couple of their expansions here, slowing things down. But you know, honestly, oh my God, he tries to dive on the MCV. This is so weird. And Ed, I feel like, well, that's why you call him the wild card. This is it right here.
This is exactly why you call him the wild card. He does have a War Factory. He's sending some Grizzlies up to the top side. Lloyd taking the bottom side. Soviet players are a bit in. You feel a little bit, you know, spread out. In the meantime, Lloyd spamming out the GIs to join his forces here along with a power drop. That's an insane amount of GIs. I think they're gonna need a Desolator to counter this number, but. Yeah, Loka's gonna take it downfield. Okay, backs off. They're both going to. There's a little. They're not coordinated enough, the Soviet players.
Yeah, the Soviet players, yeah, and that's such a big thing. We saw that in your game, you know, you and Dynamic kind of on voice together, and it looks like these guys aren't quite clicking in that way. You see their tanks not really working in synergy, and that makes a huge difference. Now the GI's pushing in. Any Desolators coming? Oh, no Desolators coming. Unfortunately, those GIs are bundled up. He's going to take them down anyway. Does hold off those GIs. And somehow, you know, the Ed's team here maintaining a presence downfield this whole series. I don't really know how they're doing it, but they keep ending up on red side of the field, forcing red to reconsider what they're doing. But unfortunately, You gotta think something's just gonna break eventually. God damn it, Loka, stop spamming taunts. It's so annoying.
Yeah, so Loka, it's been a lot of back and forth here, but now Loka back in Ed's base with some Rhinos.
What?
Not enough to actually get anything done. The Eagles, the Rockies, the amount of Grizzlies, they're easily defends. The Allies are stabling as the dust settles. It opened
Wow.
up looking
Oh my-
like the Soviets were just rolled through, but Ivor, look at the game now. Who's winning?
Oh my god. Now, Allied hasn't... Oh, and Lloyd. Lloyd the freaking Lion right now. Double A... Oh, shit. What just happened to that MCV? Was that just
It
a
either
dive?
got sold or got wrecked by an oil or something. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh my god, okay.
But yeah,
Wait,
Ed's no MCV. Holy
Lloyd,
shit.
why does Lloyd have so many tanks, so many Rockies, and so many Eagles? Ed's done a good job of just running around the field, confusing everyone. Lloyd's got 7 Eagles. Lloyd might be able to distract right now, try to get the Eagles on the backside, but he does need to save some of these tanks if he wants to hold off the counterpunch. Eagles coming, that MCV's going down. So both players now down in MCV. Lloyd on Battle Lab Tech and Mirages. Lloyd is going beast mode while Ed's distracting, and that could be the 1-2 combo they need here. Could he lose another War Factory? It'd be great if he could. Saves it.
But by the way, that is exactly why these two are pretty damn strong, right? Ed will drive his opponents insane. They won't even know how to react and what to respond. And Lloyd knows how to solidly build up behind this. And before you know it, like you said, trillions of Eagles, Grizzlies, Rockies, sniping buildings. The Soviet players are in shambles at the moment. They have no idea what hit them.
Oh my god, and that was both of Orange's War Factories. So Kick's now not producing tanks. Kick's actually isn't producing at all. Kick's on no production now. And now they just have to hold this counterpunch, and that should be the game. It's just a... Well, what's Ed producing? Ed still has a War Factory at Barracks and AFC. They just have to hold this counterpunch.
Look at all those Mirages.
All the Mirages are going to melt.
It's not...
Lloyd the Lion, boys. If anyone was asking why we call him the Lion, now you guys know. And what an unexpectedly deadly combo. A Lion and a Wild Card. The perfect recipe here. Yeah, and they just have to make one last final push here. But the snipers, and Ed still has the trifecta, right? He's got the AFC, the Barracks, and the War Factory. It's basically a 2v1 right now as Kicks is not producing. Double paradrop backside, probably will grab another War Factory. You expect to see the GGs here.
Yeah, this game is definitely over, and surprisingly so, Ivor. The first minute of this game, you're like, holy shit, the Soviet pressure is real, and the Allied players have no way of defending it. And somehow, after an insane tornado of events, we reached the end of the game, and holy shit, the Allied players have somehow won.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a word for that.
There's certain people I'm dying to see on this map because I know it's gonna be nuts.
But, Allied versus
again.
Allied versus Soviet again. And I think Lloyd's so funny too because like Lloyd's the kind of guy like Lloyd. I mean, if you guys know Lloyd, he's John. He's talking shit. He's like he's in there to win. And there's a lot going on in his games. Like he's passionate about winning. So I love when Ed Ed came to Lloyd and was like, "Yo, you want to get weird today?" And Lloyd was like, hell yeah, let's get weird, like, let's go double Allied. Let's start off double AFC. Let's spin their heads around, go down swinging. Or win, who knows? Okay, so again, we see this little face-off on the top side. Last time we saw a lot of action there. Looks like we're going to see it again.
Yeah, Ed is very good at winning those tiny knife fights, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think Loka's going to get any real value up top there. Although, okay, yeah, so he is going to head down. He is going to bunker up there and try to go downfield to find value elsewhere. Pushing through that Allied encampment is not going to work well for him. He is a little bit scattered, and Ed's going to ult.
Ed goes right for the War Factory. Ed's going to ult the War Factory.
War Factory's going to go down. War Factory's going to go down.
But, counterpunch. Oof. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, he's going to rush in here.
If anyone can hold it, it's Ed, but he's spamming the GIs now as well. You got to think he's going to be losing his war. Oh, the Eagle's out. Ed can use... Oh, my God, boys.
And Ed holds. Now, in the bottom, we have Just for Kicks pressing Lloyd hard. Can Lloyd handle the pressure Just for Kicks is bringing right now? It's going to be hard. The Soviet Rhinos are in his base at the moment, so a lot of shit going down.
Rough unit control there from Kicks. On a map like this, you got to try to spread things out. Every time a pillbox comes, in these low body positions, you just got to get away from it. Get away from the GIs, get away from the pillboxes, use the open field to your advantage. He wasn't able to do that there. Questionable unit control and paid the price in blood. And the MCV does go down. MCV hit from Ed as well, and Ed just overpowering Loka right now. We've seen Loka such a strong 1v1 player this month, coming back into Blitz, but he's just struggling. 2v, you know, this kind of stuff, just the weird Blitz stuff, right? Your direct skills don't transfer over. The fact that Ed's been playing Blitz a lot longer, you're just seeing he's overpowering Loka, but Loka's gonna get the War Factory. Loka forces a sell in the War Factory.
So Loka left with a barracks at a War Factory. He's going to spam units and try to keep Ed as busy as possible. Maybe give Just for Kicks an opening to be able to win out this game. They haven't lost hope yet. Power drop getting cleaned up in the bottom side, but the crates come out. This is a huge eco boost, and it looks like Lloyd is going to dive here. Okay, not going for the MCV. Interesting choice there. Does get a War Factory, though, and backs out. I like that out of Lloyd. Not risking too much. But Ed is going to keep building and become stronger and stronger. If the Soviet players don't close out the game soon, I don't think they're going to have a chance long game, Ivor.
Yeah, the 3-minute mark down in MCV up against 2 MCVs. You just got to go full send here. I like this. Loka just spamming from the barracks. Both players got to go rack up 30 dogs, rack up 30 tanks, and just try to send it downfield. But of course, the Allied players have the advantage of knowing that's what's going to come here, and they're ready for it. No anti-air in this group. Rocky's getting nice chip damage.
Absolutely, and Loka needs to be careful not to lose his only War Factory, which is about to happen in the other side. Just like he's getting a lot of value in Ed's base, so Ed losing a lot of shit, but Loka just lost his only War Factory. Loka is essentially out of this game. He does still have a barracks, but that's not going to last very long, and it's not going to be very helpful.
Yep, and Loka now not producing. Yeah, so now in kicks. And this is, you know, this is that every Red Alert 2 players face this position. If you push, you die. If you sit back, you die. It's a decision that no player likes to make. Unfortunately here, look at these guys, just know what's coming. Lloyd with 7 pillboxes, Prism Tower, GIs, just holding the line. I like this from Kicks. He's going to just round to the top side. That's exactly what you want to do here, and that's how this map was built.
Very nice.
And that's a nice hit. But the Grizzlies, what can he do, Snark? I mean, the Grizzlies are
well,
going to overwhelm.
I mean, there's so many rhinos. I don't know if they are going to overwhelm him. It's going to come down to tank control. Look, Kicks is going to win this fight if he controls his tanks properly. And that's what's happening. Lloyd forced to back off a little bit. More reinforcements coming from Kicks' base. But Kicks needs to watch the backside because there is infantry heading towards his base. Oil hit is huge there, but...
Oh, he dives on another.
Wow.
And that was
good value, but...
Oh, the GI's on the backside going to get a 2-pack here. 2 War Factories going down. Very nice from Ed, hanging and banging here. And yeah, so you love that hit. The problem is it's an interesting decision. Now, in any other scenario, that would have been tremendous value. A perfectly orchestrated attack from Kicks. He took the buildings, he paid the price in tanks, but he got a lot of value. Now, here's the problem. He's down in MCV in a 2v2 game at the 5-minute mark. So the question is there, was it worth diving all that stuff, or should he have gone for an MCV possibly? Is, you know, being down in MCV so devastating, even though he got so much value there. He's got another wave coming. He's on 5 goddamn War Factories.
Yeah, I think it was worth it because he, like, Ed and Lloyd just got the War Factories back. Oh, he just lost the tank from lightning. That's
Kicks was broke.
Yeah.
He's gonna get these money crates, but Kicks,
that's gonna be huge.
He's still in the pressure cooker though. He's still in the pressure cooker. The Allied players can sit back. Now they're going Eagles, and unfortunately, Kicks, after all he did there, he does need to continue to keep the pressure on. There still is gaps in the armor around the backside. I'd like to see him come around this bottom side and try to do exactly what he just did again. Sniper's out, so he's not going to get any value out of fodder. I like that he's not wasting money on it. Ooh.
Okay, he's went straight through the Prism, straight through the Grizzly, straight through everything, and then he backs out. No, if you're going to go in like that, what are you doing? At least go for that oil, but now the infantry in position to defend. Ivor, it was a valiant effort, but I'm not sure Kicks is going to be able to close out this game. I think the Allies will be able to hold. Not looking too hot for him right now. Ed is going to send it downfield to, you know, now Kicks has to focus on defense and offense. So hard to do effectively. And it looks like the Wild Card and the Lion are... They earned their names. They earned their names.
Yep. And hey, and Kicks hanging and banging here. Yeah, Kicks, we just got his avatar. He's kind of a newer player as well, man. I'm so excited about some of these newer players, these names that people don't know, coming in here and putting on a show at the top level. You love to see it, man. I mean, this is an old game. We have a lot of players that have been around here for decades. It's fun to have some new blood in here. So Killer Kicks coming in here. He's hanging and banging, but unfortunately, Ed was just able to leverage some early positions, get weird, take out Loka, and it wasn't enough. And these 2v1s are so tough, right? I mean, it's a 2v1 is... I mean, people say that a lot. Like, why don't we have like a pro play 2 noobs or something? 2v1s are so hard. Like double production. Even if it's 2 terrible players, if you're just spamming tanks, you're gonna have twice as many. 2v1s are so tough.
Absolutely. 2v1s are insane. Like any B, two B class players will take out an S class
Yeah,
player. Like,
yeah. I mean,
it's so tough. And Just for Kicks did really a valiant effort, such a beautiful job. It almost, for a second there, it was like, well, he might pull this off. So
no, yeah, it was.
respect to him, man.
Yeah, a lot of respect, and it's exciting too. I mean, because there's nothing decisive right now. I mean, that's 2-1, but I mean, this is a very very close game. And Loka, we've talked about this before. 2v2, so much of the game happens between games, happens before the game, happens before the series. The kind of communication, the strategy, and we'll see what Loka and Kicks can come with here.
I think the synergy is the main issue here, right? They need to punch as
Yep,
one,
yep.
move as one, or at least, keep their side of the map so busy, turn it into essentially two separate 1v1s.
Yep, and
But
that's
they can't.
yeah, they can't. They're just a little bit. Yeah, that's it. They're just not clicking. They're not clicking the way that you need to in a 2v2, and certainly not. If you had your opponents also playing that same style, maybe you'd be okay. But the fact that Lloyd and Ed are playing as extensions of themselves, yeah, it's definitely putting them behind. But we'll see. Again, Ed going to open the top side. I think Loka might just amputate that top side and just give it to Ed. He's lost every time, right up there.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very, very good move from Loka. Like going with Ed into a tiny knife
Yep,
fight as
yep.
allied. Good luck. Oh,
Oh,
the hut.
whoa!
Oh,
And
okay, that
Loka.
went down quickly.
Uh,
Never
I've-
mind.
Unfortunately, the huts. One time I was like, "Why are huts so weak?" Balth was like, "Have you ever shot a hut before?" I'm like, "Oh, the tents. It's a tent, right? It's not bulletproof." But I like the idea. I like the idea there. Not gonna work, but luring Loka trying to do something. Why exactly? Oh, those are. See that? I was like, how do they have so many?
Yeah.
How does Lloyd have so many tanks? Look at that. Their
Because it's
tanks.
both of
They're
them.
moving as one.
Moving as one. But that does mean that Just for Kicks does have an opening at the bottom. The question is, can Loka hold this pressure? No, he cannot. Just for Kicks needs to get some insane value, or Loka is going to lose this game now. Okay, he's going in, and he's using, I like it, the conscripts going for the oil, and the tanks going for the MCV.
Three.
And we do see Grizzlies rushing back to defend here, so Just for Kicks successful, but they lost the power plants on their side of the map.
Yeah, they lost both power plants, and the power plants, we've seen this before on Blitz maps. You usually start with a power and an oil. If you can take one from your opponent, take the power, obviously. The power plant, not only is it going to put them low power, it's going to throw off their build. They might be in the middle of building a war factory. Now that war factory is going to come out, they're still going to be low power. They're going to build a power plant. All of that, of course, at half production. It's absolutely devastating. So that power plant hit is exactly what the Allied players wanted here. Now, of course, the Allied players could be looking to slow things down. Any sane mortal would be at this point as the Allies. But of course, Lloyd and Ed, who knows? Maybe, who knows what they're about to do. But I like the pressure from Kicks here. Kicks looking tough, man. Kicks looking tough today, but...
Kicks looking tough, absolutely. But again, there's the lack of synergy. If they were both
Yep.
in there at the same time, they would have easily gotten value there. Unfortunately, Kicks was there alone, and he couldn't get the value he wanted, but they're still pushing in, and the Allied Grizzlies are afraid to engage at the moment, however. They're staying back and letting them take the value.
Yeah, then they give up that top side. Very, very interesting. And I wonder, I would like to hear what they were saying on voice there. Give it to them? I mean, they were kind of committed to that top side, going to lose some oils. Kick still rolling through. They try to counterpunch downfield. Ed gets behind enemy lines, correctly not diving on the MCV there. He would not have gotten it. And Kick's now getting pushed down the top side. So Ed and Lloyd split up. Ed goes downfield to do what he does best, distract. Lloyd able to clean out Kick's army decisively on the top side. Loco with a massive group of rhinos uncontested and a nice group of fodder as well. I don't see any snipers to deal with those dogs. See how quickly the blue team can pivot over to that if they want to.
They do have Rocketeers, and now the air is coming out for real. The Soviets aren't ready for this transition. They need flag tracks, but they do have serious war factories. Just for Kicks on 4 war factories, that is no joke. The Rhino production is real here. Can the Allies keep up with this level of tanks?
Yeah, gonna be tough. We've seen this before. We say, oh, Allied's doing this, Allied's doing that. Yeah, well, what is Soviet doing? They're building a war machine. They are pumping rhinos, and we've seen those overwhelm and take out even incredibly well-defended bases before. As I say that, oof. The rhinos going down top left.
Diving there on the oil. Not sure that's the best one, but we do have a split on the bottom.
Bottom side.
Really, really nice. So Loka trying to get value at the bottom. Get to get the airport. That's one power drop less to worry about. That's good value. You want to be able to do that. But there are more than 5 eagles on the fields. That means they can start sniping serious shit, oils, chain reactions. What are the Soviet players going to lose from the air here? In the meantime, they are putting on some serious pressure. Look at all these rhinos.
Yep.
And Lloyd out of position.
Lloyd out of position, not there to defend, and the Rhinos finally muscling their way through. Let's see how quickly Ed and Lloyd can scramble. Lloyd on 13k, Ed's going broke, and that's Ed's MCV, so Ed can't spam the pillboxes that he needs here. Lloyd has all the money, and we do see another 1-2 punch coming from the bottom side as well. The Rhinos rolling through, doing what they do best, and just like that, it's so funny. If I hadn't seen it 100 times, I wouldn't have thought the Rhinos could do it, but in the back of my head, I'm always like, at any moment, the Rhinos can roll through. Rockies and Eagles getting downfield, forced to sell in the MCV. Kicks his MCV, goes down. Rhinos still doing work. GI's coming to defend. It is now a 1 MCV versus 1 MCV game here, but both players without MCVs are still... Oh no, Ed's out of this game, Snark. Ed's out of the game. Ed's not producing. Ed's not producing.
Wow, Ed completely out of the game. Only all these guys, the units he's got, and the Soviets on crazy production. Every army you kill the Soviets, 1 minute later, they have reproduced that army. Loka on 5 freaking war factories right now, and the ally just can't keep up with this amount of Rhinos, which is exactly what we were worried about. The allies were doing beautiful moves, constantly sniping, getting this, but can you keep up with the Rhinos? Are you really ready for all-in assault with 1 trillion Rhinos down your throat? No, they were not, and they're paying the price now. It looks like we might go to a 1-1, Ivor.
Yeah. If the red team takes this one home, we will have another barn burner, our second one of the day, which, wait, your game went to match point too, right?
No, it was 3-1.
Oh, it was 3-1. Yeah, so very even one here. So Loka's still up in MCV. Lloyd has his MCV, but Allied, here we are at the 6-minute mark. Allied, Lloyd doesn't have his AFC anymore. Just really hard to get Kian in the chat spamming the barn burner. Kian just at home in bed, not playing today because him and Latov couldn't figure it out. Poor Kian, poor Latov, poor me, poor everyone. Everyone loses. It's a classic lose situation. All right, and the Rhinos pounding through. Lloyd going to go down swinging here, but that's going to be GG's, and we will be burning that barn, boys.
Absolutely. We are burning that barn hot and down to the ground as we move into a match point for each player, for both teams here.
But yeah, the semi-pros, as usual, put on a show here, boys. And here we are, match point for both players. The barn officially burning. It is best of 5. Winner of this going on to the championship. Loser of this going down to that 3rd and 4th place game. So the winner of this going to face Snark and Dynamic. So, Snark, if you had to choose, who would you rather play out of these two teams?
Oh my god, that's I mean, honestly, just because I would know what to expect, I'm gonna say Loka and Just for Kicks, right? Because if I'm facing Lloyd and Ed, I don't even know. It's like, dude, you don't know. It's insane. But on the other hand, like they're starting to develop a very scary synergy. That last game we saw them striking together much better than the previous games. And it's kind of scary. Like the Soviet power that they hold is insane.
Yep, and as we see that, so finally, we are going to see Ed and Lloyd mix things up here for the match point. So Ed going to go Soviet here. Let's just see. Oh, sorry, I won't pull real quick. So 80% of you guys feeling like Ed and Lloyd were the favorite here. Loka and Kicks definitely proving themselves though. So Ed does go Soviet and Allied for the first time here. So the first time Ed's can go toe-to-toe with Loka with his Rhinos. He's already been doing it quite well with GIs and Grizzlies. Both players not opening the top side, so very different. All these guys figuring things out as we go here. Oil going down on the bottom side. Nice little hit from Kicks.
Yeah, Kicks, man. Kicks is surprising me in a really good way. But Ed winning Loka in the tank fights. Loka forced to go on the defensive. So we've got one side on the offensive and the defensive, and then the bottom we've got the other side on the offensive and Lloyd on the defensive. Which is what you want to see in 2v2s, right? That crazy, weird yin-yang, crazy balance shit.
A little high-low, little yo-yo. Yeah, and I love that. And I love that hit from Kicks getting in and grabbing that airport. The paradrops have been devastating. There's so much to keep track of on this map, and the paradrops have been so menacing by all the players so far today. I love that early airport hit against the Allied player. I think that's huge.
Absolutely. Ed forced to go help his ally, against the early Soviet pressure there, but that means that he isn't going to take advantage of winning Loka in tank fights. Lloyd looks like he is going to be able to hold on now after Ed gave him a little bit of support earlier, and really nice hold there. That's how you play 2v2, man. That is how you play 2v2.
Yeah, that's exactly the name of the game. Crates are out now. Both players are going to scoop up a little extra money. And both players figuring out their economies well. We haven't seen too many players radically overproduce or go broke. Again, the oils are the same. The old 2v2 Blitz map, we did double produce the oils. This one's just regular straight up. So theoretically, your build order should be similar, but which is nice. Not one more thing to have to worry about since there's about 1,000 other things going on here. And it's a little interesting. You know, Allied can either take the airport or take the Eagle Pad. And I think the airport's better. That Eagle Pad can be hard to hold for Allied. All right, nice little push here. Loka and Kicks.
Oh, look at them. They're pushing this. So Lloyd gonna go on the offensive, leaving Ed to fend on his own. But Lloyd better get some good value because Ed is stuck. He left his ally all alone. Lloyd getting wrecked, and now Ed forced to fight off both of them, which surprisingly looks kind of even.
Yeah, they're cleaning up though. They're taking buildings. So Ed kind of had to amputate there, right? He drew a line in the sand. He didn't let him get anything too important, but they did get quite a bit of value there. And Lloyd's attack downfield got almost nothing. The power plants, couple war factories. That's a nice hit. No, I can't tell if they're low power, but they certainly could be.
Holy shit, this is devastating.
Oh my god.
Jester Kicks and Loka are coming in with insane numbers, and Lloyd not there to back up his ally.
Yep.
Ed getting cleaned up. And
Rhinos rolling through. The double Rhinos. We've talked, this map is so open early on. You know, you think you're defended, you think you're okay, but these Rhino numbers, especially, look at this war machine. Look at this war machine from Red. They're like, what radar? What battle app? War factory, war factory, war factory. Rhino, 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 Rhino. Hey, that's certainly one way to play. You love to see it, and it's certainly working. Lloyd and Ed putting on a goddamn show for us, but Loka and Kicks taking it home.
Dude, I'm not sure I prefer Loka and Kicks anymore. Oh my god, did you see like what they lacked in the first games? The reason Lloyd and Ed won the first games, they gained later. They were working together as one. That's 2v2 right there. That's how you win games, and boy did they look powerful there, Ivory. They looked unstoppable.
Yeah, and those are the scariest kind of players, I think. The kind of players you can expect, the kind of players that play consistently. At least you know what they're going to do a little bit. There's some security in kind of anticipating their moves. But watching Loka and Kicks evolve in real time in that series, incredibly impressive.
Perfect.